Hey, Matt, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Pat.
We have this show.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We have a overarching show topic. That's how we're going to do this. We're going to talk about Korra, Kill the Kill. We'll do that in a bit. What's up with you? What are you doing?
Korra, Kill? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm okay.
Okay, so for an example, I have been playing 30-second hero, half-minute hero. There we go. I just got that. It was on sale for $1.
I was wondering. I saw you playing that for like all of last night on Steam.
Yeah, it's it can play on my laptop, so I've been playing in the living room while the wife watches.
That's cool. I have literally not seen anything about that game.
Okay, so it is a re-release of a PSP game, and it's like a really boiled down RPG. So the premise is that there's a spell that can destroy the world in 30 seconds, but you work for the time goddess. So every mission, someone has that spell, and you have 30 seconds to stop them. But you can pay her to reboot time so that the spell hasn't finished yet. So you just run around, and fights are all auto, and everything's all auto. And you do little quests, and you get items, and every stage you reboot it to level 1.
So is it like an RPG or a platformer or what?
No, you're just... Well, it's like an RPG, but it's an auto battler.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd to describe. It's very sarcastic.
Okay.
I'm having fun with it. I don't know. I know for a fact that after you beat the initial mode, there's like a whole bunch of different kind of mini games. There's a whole bunch of content. I don't know how well it'll continue. I'm already getting kind of bored with the gameplay, but and I might stick it out. It has 2 graphics modes, where one looks like 8-bit, and then the PC version where it looks like garbage.
Ouch.
It looks like a bad Newgrounds Flash game from like 5 years ago.
Oh, even a bad one, not just standard Newgrounds bad.
It looks really terrible, and I don't know. I guess they're an indie company, but it just doesn't make sense how bad it looks. So have you bought any games recently?
Nope, not really. I've been playing an obscene amount of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer recently, because apparently there's still a very large community playing that game right now.
See, this is what I was trying to get you to bring up, that you're an animal, that you're playing Mass Effect multiplayer.
Like, the BioWare abandoned it, I think, last year, too, with their last update. They're not touching it again, which is terrible, because one of the last classes they add, the Talon Mercenary, has a horrendous bug where every time you play him, your key bindings are immediately reset to default values.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's that BioWare love and attention.
It's like, yeah, this is the last thing. It's a really neat character, too, but they're just like... that was our last update. Sorry, he's broken.
Casey Hudson was like, later,
you can
slam.
Deal.
So wait, I remember that game had a whole bunch of like, there's a lot of DLC options. Is there enough just in that game that it's still sustaining itself?
What do you mean, like from the single player or multiplayer?
The multiplayer, because there was like you bought basically treasure chests full of guns and skills and stuff. Is there enough just in the game?
There is a lot of stuff to unlock in that game. A lot of weapons. A lot of there are a ton of characters now. I think there's like somewhere between 8 or 10 per class.
Do they add any extra races?
Batarians are in there. Geth are in there. Volus are in there.
Wait, are those the little guys?
Yeah, little guys, the ones who can't leave their pressure suits.
Oh crap!
There's a couple. I think there's like at least 2 Volus classes. One of them is a biotic god.
Oh god, it's like this is a million years ago. But did you ever see that animated GIF where it was like how Mass Effect should have ended? It showed like a Volus like bioticing like the entire Reaper fleet and slamming it into the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, is it like playing like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like
that. Sounds cool. So you're having fun with it?
Yeah, it's actually a very fun multiplayer. I'm glad I got back into it.
Is is there like just a community that's still just trying to play it, or
it appears to be like they still got a very large player base.
Okay.
Like it's not that hard to find a game most nights.
Okay, I'm actually doing a very similar kind of thing where it's an old game where the player base, there's a surprisingly large player base and the developer is still supporting it. I am way into Dead or Alive 5 again.
I did not see that coming.
So the new DLC character comes out on the 3rd. Her name is Neo Tengu, and she's a Lady Tengu.
Okay.
And that sounds cool, so I'm like, I want to play Dead or Alive. And I've decided to like, all right, I'm not gonna play Ayane or Milia who require execution. I'm playing Rachel. None of her combos go past like 4 buttons, and she has an air throw. So it's like, all right, cool. And I've just been plucking away. I've gone from an F- to an E, and I've been grinding it out.
That's something to be proud of.
I've been.
How much have they added to that game since I played last? Which I guess was launch.
Yeah, which was launch. So they've added a. I don't respect this. I know there are people out there that do like this. They added a lolly.
Okay.
So I'm bummed about that. They added a Kasumi clone, which is just so there's 3 Kasumis in the game.
Of course.
There's like Naked Jelly Kasumi, which is Alpha 152, and they added Phase 4, which is another Kasumi clone that has skin that wears like a cloak. And I've heard that she plays really mechanically different from Kasumi. Kind of like actually, you know what? There's a perfect example. It's the Kami DeCapri. Same player model, but they play very differently. But Neo Tengu, who has me all excited, plays super different. Rachel, who I'm playing, is from the Ninja Gaiden series.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of, remind me real quick, because it's been a long time since I've had Dead or Alive on my head. Was this the one that introduced Ryu, or was it the last one?
Ryu has been a part of Dead or Alive since, like, I think even the first one.
No, he wasn't in the first one. Was he?
I think so, yeah. Him and Hayabusa, I think, have been there from the start.
It's the Hayabusa I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait. I was thinking of Hayate and Ein. No. Ryu's been in there. He was on the Xbox. And he was on the Dreamcast.
Okay.
It's more obvious because they put on a lot of DLC outfits that really reference the Ninja Gaiden games. So Rachel is also from Ninja Gaiden, and they added Momochi, who's also from Ninja Gaiden, as playable characters, instead of adding another Virtua Fighter. Which
Momochi?
She is. See, I hate to say this, but it's like a black-haired Asian lady who carried a staff that was in like Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma.
Okay, I didn't play 2, so that's why I don't know her.
She's a real combo-heavy character, so I don't use her. Like I said, I'm playing Rachel, who actually is just a reskin of Nicole, the Spartan from Dead or Alive 4. So that's a lot of fun. Because I remember how to play. She doesn't have the stupid invisibility move. They added her a stomp, where if you can grind your heel onto people when you land them on the ground. So some extra damage. I
never thought about that before, that she literally is just a clone of the Spartan lady.
Yeah, they had the moveset. She's rebalanced. She's a lot of fun. She's just, because none of her combos are that long, she's really easy. If people really think about it, you can get held a lot. They can counter you really easily.
All I remember is playing Ryu and having those ridiculous air juggles, and Asuka.
You mean
I don't know her
Hitomi?
real name. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. That thing. There's a million DLC costumes. They put out a set of DLC costumes for at least basically all the female characters. Like 80% of the female characters.
On the CLBL.
Yeah, I could have kept that series going if we were still monetized, because they
put out
continue
that
to
many?
put out. Yeah.
Cool.
So I was looking at it, and the clever thing now is on the costume selection screen, they just add a box where it'll show you what the costume looks like and says, hey, you need to buy it. But some of the characters are up to like 27 outfits now. So it's insane. It's like outfit 25. Like, it's really not. I'm enjoying it. I think that's I can't think of anything else. It's mainly that and League of Legends. But Dead or Alive is kind of like my extra thing. I'm thinking about starting to play the Prince of Persia. Oh, I've been playing Mega Man 9. How could I forget? And that's beating the shit out of me.
Shit.
That game is so mean.
That game was extremely hard.
That game is really hard. It's so mean. It makes me sad. You watching anything else other than that? I'm just watching Kill la Kill now. But
no, I'm pretty much just about to finish Kill la Kill and just catching up on Korra as far as shows go. Okay,
cool. Well, that'll be our... So let's just get to the meat of the topic then. Which one do you want to go through first? Korra or Kill la Kill?
Kill la Kill.
All right, so Kill la Kill. You were telling me that I should watch Kill la Kill, and like a fool, I waited.
This anime was made for you.
Holy shit, this anime is incredible. I love it. So, I just want to think, anime-wise, I haven't been watching a lot of anime over the years. Have you?
No, I pretty much got back into it with Kill la Kill.
Yeah, so over the last while, and it's almost like I've been watching anime almost out of obligation.
Well, that's not entirely true. I did watch Attack on Titan, because that got hugely popular recently.
Yeah, mine are a lot of like, I watched JoJo, the anime, when that was coming out, seasons 1 and 2. I haven't watched 3 because I've already seen the first version of that. I watched Gundam Unicorn, because Gundam, Oh, Gundam Build Fighters, which is incredible. I want to maybe convince you to watch that for a future episode of the show, just for your own enjoyment. But yeah, other than that, and the Persona 3 anime, which is garbage. So those are the, like, it's all like licensed things that I really know.
You've talked pretty highly about the Persona anime before.
Persona 4 is great. 3 is terrible. It's boring.
Okay.
It's really boring. It's a movie that is just super. It's a movie, and they waste the first half hour on doing nothing. It's really weird. It's really, really weird and off-putting. I think, so just thinking anime-wise, I think Kill la Kill is the first time I've really been excited about anime since we watched Desert Punk.
Yeah.
We watched, like, that was like a mini golden age, because we saw Gurren Lagann and then Desert Punk. And it was like, holy shit, anime's great. And then 5 years went by.
And those are very entertaining. And Desert Punk had an actual asshole for you to sympathize with.
I loved Desert Punk. That was
you in
that
particular,
was
calling you out here.
Yeah. That was some good stuff. Well, let's so Kill la Kill. I think everyone I'm probably the last person on Earth that didn't know about Kill la Kill.
I have seen a lot of people praising it for a while now, but at the same time, they all talk about, yeah, it's got a cult following. It seems to be a bigger than a cult following at this point.
Because yeah, whenever the minor Google searching, because I haven't finished it, so I don't want to do too much Googling. But like the two, it's a very extreme show. Like the two things I only see for this show is people going like, oh my, well me, like I shouldn't mock those people because I'm this person going, oh my god, it's so good. Or the people are like sexism.
I've not actually seen a lot of complaints about sexism about that show.
Oh, okay. I think it's people who are like...
Well, it's not that I can't understand.
Yeah.
It's not that I can't see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I just haven't really seen it, and I've been kind of surprised, actually.
Well, it's like meta-sexism, because it's not that, like, they're not arguing that the show is sexist, but they're angry at people who are saying that it isn't.
Ah.
So it's this really weird layer of, I don't even know if they're even talking about the show. They're like, how could you people not even consider it? It seems to be the argument.
Well, they have to go to that level because that's what the show does. It's already meta in its own right about trying to accept it.
Yeah, I love it. It's weird. It's like Kill Bill meets magical girl transformation show with like a Gurren Lagann style of pacing and animation, which might be the best way to put it. I don't know.
That's close enough.
That's close. I mean, the thing is, this show, like,
it is unapologetic, nonstop action. Basically,
it's nonsense. Yeah, that too.
It strongly understands the genre that they're in. I don't even know if calling it a parody is the right way to describe it, because a parody is making fun of what they're doing. This is outright acknowledging it, embracing it, and then just running with it.
It loves it. Like the opening. The willingness for it to be is like a lot of things. You'll watch a lot of shows, and you almost could feel like, all right, you could film this with a camera. There's no camera in existence that could follow the action of Kill la Kill.
That is true.
Like
I think they pick. I don't know if the animation exactly top quality, but the visuals of the action have been just great to keep you involved, to keep it all looking neat and awesome. Yeah.
I feel like they managed to get away with like a lot of the exposition scenes as a semi like Chibe style. And I think they kind of do that to cut costs, because when the battle sequences happen, it is all nuts.
Yep.
And I guess they do repeat that transformation animation a bit.
Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, at least I've seen the first 10 episodes. You said you're on the last?
Yeah, I'm about to watch the last. I haven't finished it yet.
And it's widely available. It's on Crunchyroll, it's on Hulu, it's on Netflix. Like, it's easy to watch.
It now too. Cool.
At least that's what it says according to Amazon.
Okay.
I mean, not Amazon, but Wikipedia. You know, where we find news.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay,
Here's the thing about this show. Like, it's also got a great sense of humor in it, which I've been enjoying. But from what I read, it's and I really wish I understood Japanese, because apparently a good portion of that show is that it is just chock full. Like, every second of it is with Japanese puns.
Oh, really?
Have you looked into this at all?
No, I'm not. Is it like how Dragon Ball Z, all the names are food? Like
no,
that kind of a way? Or?
It is my kind of pun. Like, everything is a pun. The name itself, Kill la Kill, is because I don't know the Japanese word. I think it's like kura or kuris or something like that. Whatever the one is for kill.
Yeah. I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm pretty sure from hearing anime it's like kurashite or something similar to that.
It's like it's got the kura sound at the front of it.
Yeah.
It It's all a bunch of play on words in that it means kill, but it also means cut and to wear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So the very title of it is like to kill, to cut, to wear.
Oh, I almost want that to be the name of the show.
And
Kill,
that's
cut,
like
wear.
And it's more than that. Like the word they use for the uniforms, seifuku or something, is also the word they use for conquer.
God damn it, that's
Or
perfect.
It's not the same word, but it sounds identical to it. So, and the entire show is like, you haven't gotten into it yet, but eventually the characters start getting tired of the amount of puns in there. You'll hear them joke about it. It's like, no, you can't make the obvious pun about this one. So apparently, like, I'm thinking like at least half the things we're talking about are just play on words of a bunch of Japanese words that we're missing in translation.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Actually, speaking of translation, I just saw that I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to, but the trailer just came out for the English dub.
Oh, cool. I haven't heard any of the voices for that yet.
I don't know which group did it, but I don't want to hear Wendy Lee coming out of one of these people, or like Stephen Bloom being the teacher.
You nailed it perfectly. You know, if it's Stephen Bloom, he's gonna be the teacher.
It's gonna be. You know what? Never mind. I take it all back. If I can hear Stephen Bloom say "nude beach" or "nudist beach."
Oh, good. Are you far enough to see that? Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw the scene where he was like, "My organization is called," and a giant shiny nipples, "Nudist beach."
Have you gotten to the one scene where he meets Mako's family while he's nude?
No. God damn it.
It's hilarious because the entire scene is just him giving this long speech, and the family's all about doing this stuff. And the whole time, just innocently, the mother's eyes are obviously looking at him the whole time.
Like if you could draw dotted lines.
If you could draw dotted lines, she is getting some crotch action, some crotch biscuits there.
There we go.
That is where her eyes are centered. And
I like the
you gotta
mother.
be looking at her too to catch it. It's completely innocent.
That's awesome. So I guess we didn't really describe, but yeah, I'm going on the idea that everyone knows what it is. But it takes place at this insane, crazy school that's on a mountain, and everyone obeys the student council.
Mm-hmm.
And this outsider student is trying to fight her way to the top of the school council because she thinks the school president knows who murdered her father.
Don't forget the premise. Clothes are power.
Clothes are power, and humans are pigs.
Humans are pigs who wear clothes, apparently.
Yep, and yeah, so clothing is the power source, and there are certain outfits that are particularly tiny but also alive.
Mm.
So there's plenty of things that'll be coming out of that. It's neat. I love. It's weird to say this, but I love her outfit. That character, Sengetsu. I think his name is.
Sorry, if you hadn't said it, Junketsu is the other one.
Oh, Senketsu.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I like him.
He's neat.
Oh, damn it! You've seen Further Away. Don't react to this.
Okay.
But I have a haunting suspicious that outfit is her dad. So don't react. Don't even. We'll move on to the topics because he had an eye patch and Senketsu only has one eye, or there's some kind of thing like that.
That's a pretty strong link you got there.
Sherlock Holmes over here, my friend.
In anime, only one person can ever have one eye.
That's how it works. They always work in absolutes.
Yeah. There's so much I want to talk about too because you haven't gotten to the part where it starts to get really batshit crazy.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's actually Ryuko's own words there. It's batshit crazy. I guess bad crap crazy was the translation.
Well, that's the fun thing is that like it's an insane show, but
it's like
Ryuko and other characters understand that it isn't normal.
Yeah, I like that part about it too. It's like, again, going back, it's not a parody. It's an outright, they understand what all the cliches are, what all the tropes are.
Yeah.
And they're not making, they are making fun of them. Like, they're there for the joke, but they're also, they're just outright embracing them too.
Mm-hmm. And well, like, a fun example of that is like the difference in reality between Mako and Ryuko is like, Mako thinks that Ryuko is insane. Like, she talks to her clothing and is like, she has no friends.
She's an exhibitionist.
She's doing this. She is, like, perverted. Well, on the same note, when Ryuko looks at Mako, it's like, this is this crazy this narcoleptic, crazy, happy person. Like, they both think that each other is crazy. Mm-hmm. And that's where, like, the fun out of that comes. Out of the first 10 episodes, just kind of to cheat, do you have any in particular you'd really want to talk about?
I have to look up what the first 10 episodes were again, because again,
Okay.
like, you're just so close to where the shit starts to go really crazy. You're like almost at that halfway point where they change everything up again.
Yeah,
that every anime has to do when they're at this pace.
You see, I was only a couple episodes in, and then I woke up in the middle of the night last night and couldn't fall back asleep and just knocked out another 4. So that's why I'm 10 into it.
All right, you met Needle Guy by now, right?
Yes, Needle Guy. I'm still curious how that is gonna go. I don't remember. We can just call him Needle Guy.
Yeah.
That episode was okay. I'm looking forward to hopefully him being neater.
He does become a major character.
I figured. Well, he's in the intro.
Yeah.
So I figured as
So you
much.
figure he's in the intro.
Yeah, he's got to be doing.
It's got to be important.
Technically, Tennis Lady is in the intro, but she's during the part where they flash by a bunch of characters.
Why she?
Yeah, if you look,
funny.
there's a part where it's like, and the less important people all rushing towards the camera.
Well, that is actually an interesting thing to bring up about Kill la Kill, because you're not far enough to recognize this yet. But there is an internal consistency in that show. Like, they don't really forget anything they've done.
Oh, I like that.
Nothing was a one-off for them. You know. It's like I think they understood how. Like, I guess it goes back to my other point. There's literally no filler episodes for this show. They don't stop. Every single episode is important, and something important happens in that episode, and nothing is just drawn out for the sake of making the show last longer.
So an episode I'd like to highlight of the first 10, since I have a list in front of me, is episode 7, which is A Loser I Can't Hate, which probably has my favorite screenshot of the whole damn show, is when Ryuko decides to open a fight club.
Ah, okay, yeah, I did like that episode quite a bit. That was the one where she got her, was it a 2-star uniform?
Yeah, where Mako then gets what looks it looks like effing JoJo from season 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It even has a little bit of hair in the back of the hat.
Yeah,
if you look,
because she's all innocent and everything, and up until that very end where the armoire just drops down in front of her, she's like, "All right."
Yeah, power corrupts absolutely. If they're not eating fried food made out of maybe people and bugs, they're not good people.
Those mystery coquettes.
Yeah, the mystery. I love that episode. There's a lot of really great. There's a lot of really good reaction shots in that one, with like how Ryuko's dealing with things, and I dig that episode. I think that's my favorite episode of the first 10. I am liking how. I think a really good way to describe the pacing of Kill la Kill, or what it's like to watch Kill la Kill, is from episode 1. I have looked at the episode count, continuously going, well, this has got to be the last episode. Because it always feels like it is at 11 or 12 in terms of where the series is going.
It does keep dialing it up a notch. It doesn't really stop that until episode 24.
Yeah, it's continually finding ways where, even though it feels like it's like, oh, this should be like the whole thing with like big eyebrow lady whose name I don't remember. Satsuki.
Okay.
The fact that she gets her own outfit and then just goes back to sitting in a chair.
You have not seen the true power of Junketsu yet.
I really want to see the true power, but they have one sword fight. And it should bug you because it's like, all right, they have one sword fight. And it's like, all right, later. I'll be back in probably 10 episodes, whatever, see you, bye. I love that. I love that. That should be a buggy kind of thing. But the show gets away with it because they keep finding different ways to really just like be goofy, be silly, be all that kind of stuff. I love the show.
You haven't gotten to this part yet, but I think a really, really good way to describe the pacing of that show is that they have a recap episode. It's like, all right, here's a recap episode. This happened, this happened, this happened. And in the 2 minutes before the intro credits, they're finished. Like, okay, even our recap episodes, our show is so fast-paced, even a recap episode is done before the credits start.
Oh, that's awesome.
Enjoy the rest of this episode of Kill la Kill.
So they have like a recap stinger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I would highly recommend Kill la Kill to anybody that's like, I would like to watch an anime again.
It's fun. It is plains down, unapologetic, just fun.
It
doesn't stop at anything to make sure that it stays fun. It doesn't let exposition get in its way. And it has nothing about its plot is particularly original, but they don't let that stop them from having fun with it again.
Yeah. They relish in the moments where it's like, yeah, this has kind of been done before, but who cares?
It's like this is This is every anime you've ever seen, but we're going to make sure that this one isn't bogged down by any of the things that make them terrible.
Oh man, so much fun. Well, do you have any other thoughts about Kill la Kill before we move on to Korra?
The only thing I think we kind of glossed over really quick just to address the ideas that it's sexism. As I think the problem is that it's not really. It embraces the idea behind their transformation, of themselves embracing it, but it's so rarely that the show is ever sexual. Like, it's just, the nudity is just there. It's part of the show. Everyone gets nude, and they never really sexualize it.
Yeah. Well, also they mock the idea too in the show with the father and the son.
Right.
It's like if it's ever sexualized, it is mocked in anyone. It's like, hey, the people that are aroused by it are the ones who are like getting constant nosebleeding and getting into literal fucking car crashes because they can't pay attention to what's happening. Like,
And so it's like they don't really have any fan service in this series. It's like, because fan service is when you take an otherwise serious character who just is out of place being shown in a brief sexual manner.
Yeah.
For them, that's just the way. It's just life.
It's the way it is.
Like,
it's
there's
like,
no fan service to put on them because it's not sexualized when you see it.
This is like the anime that General Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist should have been in.
There are some exceptions to that, and it gets really creepy. And it's not. I don't know what they were going for other than to creep you the fuck out with the scenes I'm talking about too. But you're not there yet.
I'm looking forward to being creeped out. We'll have to do an overall, like, start to finish, maybe go through episodes in a future podcast. Just give a full overview. But yeah, no, I think this is a good introduction. I'm excited. Thank you for telling me to watch it.
Yeah, you get on that.
I dig it. I dig it. Everyone should watch Kill la Kill. It's the best. It's better than Gundam Unicorn. I'll tell you that.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. All right, so let's move on to Legend of Korra Season 3, Everyone Can Feel Love Again.
Legend of Korra Season 3, okay, stop yelling at us, we're going to make it good again.
Yeah. We're sorry, we're off television shit.
Well, apparently, from what I'd heard, they had originally intended to only air Season 3 online to begin with. And this was
the
just...
leaks happened?
Yeah, and then they were like, well, we're going to try it on air first, and then... They're like, ratings are bad, put it back online.
I've heard, one of the things I've heard...
Well, I was upset anyways, because I could only catch it online, and they weren't putting it online, so I couldn't catch it until they made this move and finally threw all their episodes onto the website.
Did you watch any of the Spanish leaks?
No.
I downloaded them and didn't watch them. I saw the intro and went, this is wrong. I'm going to wait. I'm glad I did. Because... the acting, I mean, it's an Andrea Romano show, so of course the acting is going to be great, and it's been a really solid season so far. I guess just to give people context, you and I are both big fans of the original Avatar. We watched it as it aired. Well, we didn't watch the first season. We found that after the fact, and then we're with bated breath, so to speak, enjoyed the second and third seasons.
Yeah.
I don't actually know where you come down. It's Korra season 1 and 2. How do you feel about those?
Well, I don't hate them as much as I'm pretty sure you do.
Hate is a strong word.
Hate is a strong word. There was a lot... I don't know how to describe it. I feel like they should have been... Like, if I were to describe the seasons to you, I feel like what I described should have been good, other than my description of Mako, which should make you hate him.
F Mako so much.
Oh my god, I know I should keep talking about season 1 and 2, but just the season 3 Mako and the fact... Just the way they seem to already coped with... They knew what they did to that character by season 3. It's like, why don't you guys like Mako? He's the cool, suave one. It's like, no, he's an asshole. He is a brooding dick, and they finally accept that in season 3. It's like, oh, there's brooding Mako again. You gonna go brood some more, broody?
Here's some more brood pants. Well, that's the thing that bugged me. Like, I guess disappointed more than hate is the second season felt like, and I own the DVD, so I've heard the commentary. They are really bothered by every complaint about the first season of Legend of Korra. Like, they are really, really, like, almost like they take it like a personal insult. So the second season felt, to me personally, like the creator sat down and went, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Guys, you guys don't get it. We're going to double down on everything you complain about in season 1 and make you realize you actually like it and that we were right and you were wrong.
that's the weird thing, though. So I really feel like the characters that they put on there were very believable characters, whether or not that made them interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I actually really like Korra's character, but she just kept making so many dumb teenager mistakes that it was hard to agree with her.
Yeah. Well, there was no olive branch where it was like, well, okay, well, let's keep going. But the first season, she made a lot of boneheaded mistakes.
Right.
In the first season, which she seemed to not learn anything from. Like, there was no moment of like, they go out of their way well, we'll get to that in a minute when we talk about season 3. But in season 2, like, in the first season, Tarlok takes advantage of Korra by overly complimenting her and pitting her against the other people that are trying to tell her how to be and do stuff.
Right.
Season 2, her uncle Unalaq overly gives her compliments, and then she sides with him until it's much too late. Like, it was like a wash, rinse, and repeat.
And it's like, I understand what her character is, and I really feel like they're getting that sort of hot-headed teenager in there, and I find it believable. I just don't want to watch that character.
Yeah,
like, I want to see that character grow. And in season 2, like, there's one moment that really sticks out to my mind in season 2, and that's when she feels like, as the Avatar, she should be able to just do her own justice. And there's that one moment where they're like, well, your father is convicted. And it's like, you convict her, I'll kill you, judge.
Yeah.
Like, you remember? I think that was exactly what she said in the middle of the courtroom. And it's like, it was such a, like, it was terrible. It made you hate her. But at the same time, I felt like it wasn't necessarily bad writing, because that's what she would do. That's exactly how she feels. She hasn't learned better than that yet.
Yeah. And it's just, it's a weird situation. There just wasn't enough to keep you going with it. I think the supporting cast wasn't strong enough either to keep you going through the core, because Aang was a complete asshole through most of the season 2. But you had Sokka, Katara. Well, also, more importantly, you had a B plot. You had Zuko's really interesting story going on while Aang was falling apart. But Korra, it was just Korra being all the time Korra, and then you were stuck with Mako as well.
My wife just perpetually hates her now. She can't forgive Korra.
Never.
Yeah.
No forgiveness.
There's no forgiveness for Korra in her mind at this moment. But yeah, that's exactly the point. It's like, it would be okay to keep watching this if they had something else in the show other than just Bolin to balance it out.
Oh, God, he worked. Bolin, like, that show was on his back.
He tried to carry that.
So hard. Him as Nuktuk. Like, that entire plot line.
Him as Nuktuk, his girlfriend, that whole subplot.
Yeah.
With the twins.
Yeah. Oh, God, Esna. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. All good stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm more frustrated than hate. Like, it was this thing where it's like...
And like I said, there's things there where if you describe them, like the kaiju battle at the end of the anime. If I just told you about that without you watching it, I think that sounds awesome.
How the hell don't I like that?
I know. How is that not so interesting and boring? There are two giant, like absolutely giant, in the ocean, energy beings of absolute light and darkness fighting each other. How is that not compelling?
It's so boring.
You
and
even know their backstories. You know everything that led up to that moment.
The entire season is leading to that, and then you have little spirit Genora showing up too, screaming, "I am a Deus Machina!"
Yeah.
But and it's really sad too, because in the commentary for that episode, they're like, "How can people complain? We've totally earned this moment." Is a direct quote from one of the creators. They're like, "No, you haven't."
That's the thing, though. Like, I understand why they think that, because I feel like, why doesn't this work? This should work. What did you do to mess this up so badly?
Why is this so bad?
Because when you learned about Wan, like when they took their long detour to learn about the first Avatar, I thought that story was compelling. I actually thought
was great.
that was the highlight, I think, of season 2. Like,
that was a vacation.
I really like Korra as a character. I want to see her grow and do better things. But what they did with Wan really felt like the old Avatar show. It felt like when you were following Aang, it felt like an adventure. It felt like the main character was likable again.
Yeah.
And you kind of
enjoyed... Or
at
least relatable.
Yeah.
And that's just, like... And I think anyone that tries to defend Season 2, you just have to bring up the fact that Amnesia, like, it was such a train wreck, they had to do the shortest Amnesia I've ever seen in anything ever.
It did
just to, like, pause and reset.
It felt like a narrative crutch. Like, they just didn't really know what they were going to do with it. It didn't really feel like it served much of a purpose to have her just have that temporary amnesia there.
Yeah, they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We wrote 3 jokes with Mako for the amnesia, and we kind of want to recenter her. Like, that's it.
That was the best part of season 3, though,
Mm-hmm.
is just when they're starting to redeem themselves within, like, I think 10 or 15 minutes of season 1. Because they had a bunch of really dumb, angsty subplots between them because, they're older teenagers than what our original Avatar crew was. So they're going to have teenager love triangle plots. But they just aren't fun.
They aren't. Well, also, and to that extent, too, it's also hindered by the fact that it's a Nickelodeon show. I recently saw all of Veronica Mars. My Adrian was watching it on Amazon, and that is a great way to do teen drama. Like, she is a detective in high school, and the premise sounds really goofy, but it's a really engaging show. But like, if you're going to do a teenage show, you have to do things that are relevant to teenagers, and getting like the daytime you can reference things, but you can't really get into things, kind of hampers it as well.
Right.
So, I don't know. Well, let's move on to the thing. So season 3 of Korra's been on. How far into season 3 are you?
I just finished the episode where Lynn made up with her sister.
So that's
by
like
hucking rocks at her.
So it's like 5 episodes in, I think.
I think it's either 5 or 6. I think it's 6 no, maybe that was the end of 5. Yeah.
Okay.
No, 5 introduced you to the city. 6 is when she made up.
Yeah. So let's just so unlike Kill the Kill, where we were just kind of chatting about things, do you want to go through this episode by episode and talk about it?
If I can remember them episode by episode.
Well, I will give you a basic idea of what happened in those episodes. Well, I guess we can't. So the season opens, and airbenders are back. Because harmonics convergence. And things are all Miyazaki-esque. There's spirits walking around. And I think the best part of that is they kick Korra out of Republic City.
Is that you're just glad because you think Republic City was a crutch for their storytelling for her?
I think that Republic City did all it did. Like, you got everything you could out of Republic City in the first season. And I'm so glad they got her out of there.
I feel like they didn't have enough imagination with exploring Republic City. Like, there wasn't enough of a culture or scene there for us to get into. To root ourselves only in Republic City.
The Mafia is the only culture they have.
Basically, that was
like the triads.
There's 3 things that you get out of Republic City: the crime, the pro-bending, and the ineffectual leaders who we've learned to hate.
Yeah, there's either the Bending Council, which is useless, which I would love for them to go into how they actually got a Bending Council, because in the flashbacks in season 1, Sokka was the first president of the city, and then after he died or whatever, it became just benders.
That was another failure, I think, of season 1, is that Amon, even though he turned out to actually be a bender, kind of had a point. There were no non-benders on that council ruling the city.
Oh yeah, and also how, like, after it's over, it's like, oh, whatever, they have a normal president, so all of them are gone.
Yeah.
Like, no, everyone's happy. Don't have shh. Finger on lip. But so season 3 opens up. Korra is almost out of the way, immediately extra likable.
Kind of like she seems to not be as she already feels like she's grown a little bit, at least as an avatar, after all of the out of hard decisions she's had to make up to this point.
Yeah, she shows a lot of perspective and stuff.
I'm still pissed that they've severed the whole Avatar line.
Holy crap,
seemingly pointlessly, but
she never used it anyway, which is the weird part of all this.
She used it once, and that was to get her bending back.
Yeah, which I'm still very angry about that, but I didn't know that the first season was intended to be all that there was going to be.
Right.
Like, they didn't know they were going to get a second season, so they just wanted to reset it.
Yeah, they're set for season 4.
Yeah, they're already animating it.
Yeah.
Which, good.
because I really feel like season 3, again, season 3 has been good. And yeah, she's likable again, almost instantly. Because I don't know how to describe it. She's almost like a superhero now.
Yeah.
Like, when they started Korra, they tried to make a transition from what Aang was as an avatar, which was, upholder of peace, to a modern age of what an avatar would have to be in a more civilized world.
Mm-hmm.
And they never really seemed to quite stick that landing. So at the beginning of season 3, she's like, oh, she's out saving the world again. She's saving the city, and then she saved a man from dying off a cliff, or not a cliff, jumping off a bridge.
Jumping off a bridge. She
Yeah.
helps a kid that's in a building that gets knocked over.
Like, she's
she helps
helping
more people.
Something we haven't seen her do in 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Although she did have a great quip with I think, is he a mayor? Is that what he is?
The president.
Yeah, okay, the president,
Right,
that's what it was. It's like, I'm kicking you out, because you never help us. Oh, I'm sorry, I just saved the entire world a season ago, but...
How do you feel that they openly call it Unavatu?
That was great.
They're just like,
it.
hey, Unavatu, that thing happened.
That was pretty nice.
So also in the first episode, it is revealed that the downside of a whole bunch of airbenders being introduced, a criminal who is being held in a bizarrely complicated prison for a guy that apparently had no bending in the first place.
Yeah. You're further than me, so I'm wondering if they ever justify this, if they've justified this yet. Because apparently these guys are extremely scary. What did that guy do to be caught in such a prison?
That's the weird thing. It's like, he was just a dude before airbending got given to him. And it's just like, let's put him on a mountain that only airbenders can reach. It's like, no, he's just a guy. Also, just to be the party people, I want to say this out loud. Just kill them.
Yeah,
just kill them. If
I know
you're going to have to do this, like...
I know why they put him there, or I guess I know why the writers did that. Is that it's the point they're making there. It's like, this guy is so dangerous, they're treating him like a bender.
Yeah, and then he got bending, and that let him do the airbending.
Although, as we learned later, apparently he knows a lot about airbenders anyways.
Well, he's like the way that I read him is he's like a corrupted one of the air acolytes, the non-benders that absorb. Also, where did all the air acolytes go in this season? Let me just give one quick little negative.
I thought we saw them at the air temple in Republic City still. Did we not see them there?
Yeah, but why didn't they bring any of them to the northern air temple? There are people who are so hard on for airbending and airbending culture.
They all left when they didn't get airbending and other people did.
Oh, crap, you're totally right, I bet.
Screw
like, this, let's all go get steaks.
Exactly. Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Let's go. But yeah, so Zahir, I think even from his introduction to the prison is very interesting. Like, he quotes an airbender philosopher, wails on people.
That's the thing, though. I think they've really, again, I think they stuck the landing with him. With the villains that they've introduced so far in Season 3, they're interesting. I want to know more about these people.
Yeah, and so moving on to Episode 2, I think all that the gang does is that Korra and Tenzin go around and they have a little the super goofy anime chibi map where they're going around trying to collect airbenders and failing beautifully at it.
Before that episode began, in Episode 1, I had to wonder, what was Tenzin's plan? It's like, they ended up addressing it anyways, but it's just, he's basically the guru, the only guru they have of airbending.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this wise mentor and everything. What was his plan?
It's really funny how, like, the whole crux of Tenzin's character seems to be that he sucks.
Yeah. Well,
like,
unfortunately, that seems to be the crux of most of the characters up until this point.
Yeah, I guess everyone over a certain
age. At this point,
like,
even Lin has been the worst police chief. It's the worst cop we've ever seen.
I guess, yeah, the city is still completely filled with crime.
It's filled with crime. She made so many terrible mistakes in Season 2.
Oh, I don't even want to think. Oh, God.
Yeah, you don't even. You blocked it out. You've mentally blocked.
She's terrible, so
stupid things she did in Season 2. And the problem with that is that it's clear her character is that she is the best beat cop, down to earth person. That's her character.
Yeah.
But that's never what she does in the show. In the show, she just makes the worst decisions that a cop of her rank.
Yeah.
And what we should be expecting from her should do.
Mm-hmm. Like, that should be she's a beat cop that worked her way to the top but doesn't have the perspective of what the police chief should have. She's still just a cop and just happens to be in charge. And that should be her fault, is her lack of perspective. But no, she just makes dumb decisions. But let's forget about her. So they introduce the super evil crew. You have a guy named Gazan, who is a lava bender.
Well, I think they've been introducing them one episode at a time. I think they only got Gazan in that episode, didn't they?
No, and Ming Hua, the armless waterbender, were both introduced in the second episode.
Cool.
So I think Ming Hua is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, the water tentacle arm she's got? Yeah.
Oh,
As
she's
soon
so
as
cool.
you see her whip those arms, and it's like she didn't have arms. Holy crap!
Oh man, this is cool. And they've been so creative. Like she said, size. She's a big claw. She's done a whole bunch of stuff.
I guess that's what's really been interesting about these guys too, is that we don't really know much about them or their characters, other than they're outlaws. What's the main guy's name? Zahir is
Zahir, yeah.
Zahir has so far got a pretty charming and charismatic attitude to him that's been really nice. But otherwise, we don't know anything about these people. They're just visually creative with what they are.
And it's also, ever since Korra has started, all of the big bads have been waterbenders with a weird power. You have spirit benders and blood benders. So there hasn't been a moment where you're like, oh man, bending can be like, they went out of their way in the first season, like lightning bending is boring. Everything, metal bending is boring. Like
Right.
it is just commonplace. So to see a neat form of water bending, to see air bending be really cool and scary, and to see lava bending, it's really refreshing.
Right. And that's neat. But back to my original point I was saying is, with Tenzin, what was his plan? Like,
Oh, I forgot that was
I honestly, like, I had the moment of disbelief at the end of episode 1. It's like, surely Tenzin doesn't think that all these people are just going to become Air Nation now.
Yeah, why didn't anyone say, like, well, what if someone said you could never see your 3 kids again, and you all of a sudden had to be an earthbender?
So that's the thing, too. Like, he expects to meet these people, and it seems pretty clear that his idea is that when he meets them, now that they can airbend, they are air nomads. They belong to the Air Nation now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't come from another nation, and they all want to join our vegan diets. They all want to meditate for the rest of their lives. It's like that was actually what he thought would happen.
Which is really weird, too, considering he was one of the leaders of Republic City, which was the leading place of where your bending was no longer directly tied to your culture.
Right.
So he was, like, living amongst that. And I think that's one of the neat things about, and I think maybe that's part of the reason why this season is called Change. You see people breaking away from the very one-to-one, here's my bending, here's my culture. You see the metal benders, who we'll talk about in a little bit, being a group of people that are part of the Earth Kingdom, but they see no need to actually be Earth Kingdom citizens.
I mean, on the one hand, I can kind of sympathize with Tenzin, is that he's desperate. Like,
Oh, God, yeah. Well, that's
that's what it is. He's desperate. It's like, well, we're the last airbenders. Our culture dies with me. And then all of a sudden, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
I guess he's just blinded by that when he dives into this.
I would love to see Tenzin. Well, he's the idiot now.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one where you're just like Korra. It almost feels like Korra, like, took what little sense Tenzin had in his character and took it for herself this season.
Well,
And now she's a normal human being, and Tenzin is just this, like, moron.
yeah. Well, I think that's how it started out. But I don't know if it was this episode or if it was in a couple later episodes. It felt like Tenzin slowly started to redeem himself. Like, he just had this one really dumb idea of what to do with airbenders. But I feel like he's done a much better job of mentoring Korra this season.
Mm-hmm.
Because Korra's having these moments of doubt because now that she's finally being an avatar and finally trying to bring balance to the world and feeling terrible about her decisions because they're huge decisions with huge impacts. It feels like Tenzin's finally being the mentor he's supposed to be for the previous 2 seasons. It's like saying, no, Korra, your decisions are going to make people upset.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also have that in the first episode. I think they even have a conversation where, like, he admits to her that I'm not really your teacher anymore. We're just kind of friends.
Right.
And that is fun to see. And he even asks her, I think at the beginning of the 5th episode, he asks her for advice.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere in there.
Yeah, so it's a good little change of pace. And at the end of episode 2, we were introduced to old Zuko.
Who I could have sworn they had explicitly said that everyone except Katara was dead.
She said friends. Only my friends are dead. So she hates old Zuko. There's beef they're not addressing. Also, Toph is apparently still alive, too.
They didn't say she was alive. Just that she wandered off and then never came back.
Okay. I treat that as, like, I really feel like when I saw Zuko and we didn't see Toph at all in episodes 5 and 6, it felt like, hey, you get Zuko this season, season 4, you get Toph.
Where did he get a dragon?
Where did he get?
Where did he get a dragon?
It was there was a secret group of firebenders that were breeding air bison and breeding dragons.
But yeah, seeing old Zuko was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I love that. So then we move on to the third episode where the gang arrive in Ba Sing Se, and that city is still
What
awful.
the heck happened to Ba Sing? Like, how did that go so wrong? My
That
first
guy
question
was a
to you,
bad dad.
they did. My first question to you is, who let them still have Dai Li?
Oh, that bothered me so much. It's like, didn't anyone have a moment like, hey, the Dai Li are like super bad? I wish there was a throwaway line where the queen was like, you know, and it's like, I've done everything I can for this country. I even brought the Dai Li back.
Something like, how do they still have Dai Li? It's like if we had let
No
Germany
credibility.
keep the SS.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally what that's like. Where it's like, oh, hey, did you hear that our new diplomat from Germany is also an SS member? Oh, that's weird. You'd think they would have disbanded by now.
It's like there's no justification for the Dai Li after the liberation, if nothing else, by the liberation after the White Lotus.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's a reference or not, but in this episode, the two Dai Li that don't let Mako and Bolin back on the train look literally the same as the two Dai Li guys from the second season of Legend of Airbender.
I had noticed. I just assumed they all had the Mook face.
It totally looked like, oh man, I wonder if they just reused those two character designs.
Oh, you skipped Kai, by the way.
Oh shit, and they have a character that I don't
Toph
trust.
2.0.
Yeah. Well, it's like if Aang and the illegitimate grandson of Aang and Toph, Kai. They meet. The only airbender that they get is a guy that's running from the law, and who develops a relationship with Plot Devicey.
Jenna,
Janora.
There we go.
Janora, the moving plot device.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get to Ba Sing Se. It is still just as FF as ever. It's like, seems to be worse now that you need passports to get through the different rings.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just couldn't get through the different rings beforehand.
Maybe it's progress, but it really seems like the poor district is worse off than it was even when Aang was there.
Yeah, because no one was like, I'm starving.
It's like no one complained that it smelled like New Jersey.
Yeah.
Like, your district's compared to New Jersey in smell. You probably are not doing something right.
Yeah, so they have that stuff. There's some really good Bolin in this where, like, they meet they luck into meeting their family. They have a real bonehead cousin that's really into how strong he is. And there's a great little gag where Bolin is like, oh, I love you too, Big Bo, and medium-sized Bo, and little Bo, and
Bolin is still carrying that series pretty hard.
Bolin is carrying heavy. Mako is still.
It's like Mako's still
Mako this time.
He's still Mako, but I feel like they're using that character better now.
They had him give up his scarf.
They did have him give up his scarf, but he's not getting in the way with his dicgishness in this season.
Yeah, and the other big part of this is that Zuko just proactively goes to the North Pole and hangs out with Tonrok, Desna, and Eska to just like, all right, they're going to come and get the Firebender. Instead of just killing her to ruin Zahir's plan, they wait.
Dude, they brought back Sparky Boom Man, kind of.
Sparky Boom Lady is great. I love that they're just like, yeah, that's a thing. That's
I
something
love that
people
they went,
can do.
Like, they brought out Sparky Boom Man in the original Avatar series, and they never explained how that works.
Yeah, and
like,
they still don't.
Have they not yet? I've been kind of hoping they finally explain how that works this season.
Nope, they're just like, that's her thing.
Okay.
Cool.
It's like, that's it.
Yeah. And so they all line up, and there's a really good bit where Zuko comments that it's like, yeah, the person we're protecting, I hired a guy like that once to kill the Avatar. Didn't work.
There was a dramatic pause there. I was like, yeah, I once hired someone to like, kill the Avatar. And everyone looks at him and is like, didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
That's why he's not friends with Katara. She doesn't forgive him. Never forgive.
Katara doesn't even remember it. She never connected with her Avatar side.
She waited for Aang to die, and the moment the funeral's over, she's like, fuck you. What? I hate you, Zuko. I've hated you for the last 40 years. I was just waiting for Aang to die to tell you. Never talk to me again. Back to the South Pole.
I could understand why she might. Then they actually make up for once.
Oh, hell yeah. They had a really good... They bonded and they fought Azula together.
Yeah, they had some good bonding, I thought, at the end there. They had that one episode where he talked Katara out of killing that dude.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we have the fourth episode. That's where the big Zahir evil team avatar, so to speak, dukes it out and just kicks everyone's asses.
Is that where we see shaved Zahir, or is that not until episode 5?
That's episode 5.
Okay.
So this is where Zahir gets her out, and they're allowed to laugh again, because right after they break out, Flea? I don't know how you pronounce. It's P''Li. Plea?
Who are we talking about? Oh, the
Combustion Girl.
Ply?
Just the fact.
I think it was Ply. I want to say
Ply?
that's what it was, but I've only heard them pronounce it once.
That's a good point. Well, after they break out Ply, like, they get in the car, and her and Zahir just immediately start making out.
Yeah. And then the earthbender next to them was just like,
you got to do this now? And I love that. I thought that was a great little character moment. Where it's just like, it's been 13 years. He's lucky they're not going further.
And that's another part of why season 3 has been great, is even right now the villains are kind of got some humanity to them right now.
I really like the villains.
Like, I don't even remember. Unalak, was that season 1 or 2?
That's season 2.
Season 2? He
Season
was so
1,
he wasn't human.
Unalak was the worst thing ever.
Like, I can understand a villain maybe not being likable, but he just wasn't. He felt like he wasn't a human. Like,
and it was never justified. He was the jealous younger brother. That was it. That's the closest I can get.
Otherwise, there's no real reason behind his. Like, he didn't really seem to have good motivation for just being an evil asshole.
And somehow he managed to get married and have kids.
2 kids who are, I guess,
twins.
If we're gonna go that route, they weren't exactly
like,
socially.
But it's not like his entire life was like, I'm living in my brother's shadow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
otherwise that episode didn't seem to actually have done much.
At the same time, that is when Korra, like, openly, like, acknowledges past events and realizes that that the Earth Queen is lying to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that great moment where, like, the bandits they face are like, you're on the wrong side, and, like, without missing a beat, Korra's like, I bet they're right.
Yeah. It's like, I probably am.
I've been on the wrong side of things enough times to realize when I'm on the wrong side of things.
Because why does everyone just attack the Avatar and not explain themselves first?
Yeah.
Like, have you noticed? Well, like when the cops were chasing Kai and the Avatar elects to defend Kai, the first thing they say when they see her is like, "Let that kid go, or we're gonna fight you."
Yeah.
It's like, well, is it a criminal? Like, you could just
show your badge.
Just
show your badge.
And then again, like, when the bandits attacked, they didn't explain anything. They're like, "The gold's ours, go."
Yeah.
I don't think it was that much. I think they just they said hi by throwing rocks at her.
I really want, but they're not metal bending, so I really wanted Toph to be the leader of the bandits somehow. That's going to be revealed at some point. Oh yeah, shoot. Episode 4, also the prison break.
Yeah. That's one where she's... is she technically exiled from the Earth Kingdom now, or just...
Yeah, she's been banned. Well, she's officially a criminal in the eyes of the Earth Kingdom.
Oh, well.
So, whoops. That had some good stuff. That's some great Boomy moments.
Yeah.
He was pretty useless in Season 2. And he did the whole thing where, like, no one uses code names anymore. And I liked that he actually sided with the Earth Queen. Like, he was still willing to break everybody up. But it was like, what? She's a queen. She can conscript her citizens as she wishes.
And I'm the Avatar. I can tell her no.
Yeah. Anarchy!
It's like, I remember my first thought was like, how does she not have a rebellion on her hands? I guess she kind of does.
Yeah, well, she has the Dai Li to stop it.
Why does she still have the Dai Li? Who let them have the Dai Li?
She ate Bosco and refounded the Dai Li on the same day. I call bullcrap on that. Bears don't live that long.
Did she eat the bear?
She insinuated she ate the bear.
I don't remember that. I must have missed that.
Go back and re-listen to the line. She flat out says that she ate Bosco.
I thought she was allergic to animals.
The fur. She likes animals to be skinned and fed to her like her father's bear.
Well, that's... I guess the writers knew what they were doing. We were not supposed to like her.
Hate her so much. But yeah, so she's... Well, here's the thing. She is the bad villain that would have been the star villain had it been just like Season 2. So I want to just give a prediction or what I really want. I want Zahir to be the big bad for 3 and 4. I don't want them to finish with him in this season.
How long is this season gonna be?
We are almost done. It's 13 episodes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll agree with that then.
I would like... Is that's the thing is you got extra time. Like, Zuko, Season 1 Zuko kind of sucks. A lot of what makes Zuko a memorable and likable character happened after his fall and his rise in Season 2, and then his, again, fall. So I would love to see something happen to Zahir and his gang that gives them retrospective and allows them to grow. So we'll kind of combine the next two episodes. So 5 and 6, the gang ends up in this really neat metal city, and we're introduced to Toph's other daughter, who's...
So yeah, it turns out Toph had, like... Apparently they were actually really nice with it and diversify, like, how everyone spent their life afterwards, and Toph seemed to have a very interesting life.
Whoever she wanted, man.
Yeah.
I love the thing where it's like, yeah, she wouldn't tell us who our dads are.
Toph is free.
I love that, like,
Toph is willing to break the law, apparently.
That allows fans to really go nuts. Is that they can also, so it's like the popular theory that Sokka and Toph, Lin is Sokka and Toph's daughter. And then you could try and think of someone else completely different for being, I think Su Lin is her name. Yes, Su Yin being the other one. What did you think of the Metal City and the Metal People?
The Metal City I thought was really cool. I'm glad to see that because we know there's a bunch of metal benders as cops right now in Republic City. We didn't know that they would actually form a whole city, and apparently literally just built the city themselves.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat. What was interesting about this is that you can basically call these two episodes the redemption of Lin.
Oh yeah, let's fix Lin.
Yeah. Because
40 minutes or less.
Like we were saying earlier, in season 1 and season 2, she's supposed to be like the beat cop. She's supposed to be like intelligent about these kind of things. It's just that she was always the worst. She failed in everything she tried to do with those. But she's actually, I don't know how to describe it, because you start off the first these two episodes when you meet the Metal Bender City, and she's like, wow, Lin is still being terrible.
Yeah.
Like she yells at her niece, like, I'm really glad to finally meet you, my aunt, and just like, go the hell away. Go
the hell away. She was mean to Naga.
Yeah.
Just to preload the episode with awful.
It's like she was terrible, and there's like no sympathy for her. And like you find out she still really had no justification still being terrible, but she's still redeemed by the second episode because I guess it's because she changes. Yeah,
well the thing is she's finally willing to say out loud that the reason she was so bothered is that I guess she's probably in her early 50s, late 40s. That she feels like, oh shit, I wasted my life. Like my life is done. Like there's nothing really to look forward to. And crap. And she's been blaming her sister this entire time when she could have really lived things out.
Oh, it was that kind of jealousy she had because her sister got to live whatever life she wanted.
Oh yeah, and she had a really interesting life.
Yeah.
The thing that she outlined, like all the stuff that she's done, was really...
And Lin felt like she got locked into her kind of life. Like she had to keep pleasing the idea of her mother by continuing to be the chief of police.
Well, that's what I like, where it's just like, our mother never forgave you. It's like, no, Mom and I hashed things out like 12 years ago.
You were invited.
Yeah, you didn't come. It's like... It's good to see, because it's technically the same thing that happened to Aang's kids. But it felt more natural.
I don't know why I'm surprised from someone who was willing to be an outlaw in their youth as Toph was, but I was still shocked that Toph was willing to break the law just to cover up her daughter in that episode.
Oh yeah, this doesn't happen to the chief of police's daughter.
Yeah, it's like this can't be allowed to happen. It's like, but Mom, you can't do this. It's like, I'm the chief of police. I can do this.
Yeah,
who's gonna question me?
All great Toph stuff. I really like where they put Toph, which makes me, because Toph is now the most developed of the post group. Like you don't really get a good feel. Like Katara is Gran. Like that's all that became of her.
You don't really know much of anything about Aang other than that he stopped bloodbending once.
Yeah, Zuko seems to be just, hey, I chase criminals now. I got this dragon.
I got a dragon?
I stopped being the Fire Lord.
I was about to ask that.
Was
he
the
Fire Lord? Is he still Fire Lord?
No, his daughter is.
Okay.
In season 2, Korra asked General Iroh, if the Fire Nation would help. And he's like, well, my grandfather Zuko and my mother, the Fire Lord, would probably be willing to help.
Okay.
They're really loyal to the Avatar. So yeah, he retired. Like, he didn't stay Fire Lord. He's
just what he
jumping
does
around
now.
with his dragon. We don't really know what happened to Sokka. Like, he was president and then died.
Yeah, all we know about Sokka was that one speech he gave about Sparky Sparky Boom Man.
Yeah, and Aang was apparently a bad father with a big stick up his butt.
That sounds about right for him, though.
It really is. As much as I hate to admit it, like, if you really look at the kind of person Aang was, like, that's who he really was. Like, he's this person that would never shut up about his culture. Would like even kind of put Katara and Sokka in danger if it meant like preserving an airbender relic. Like, I don't care what's wrong with you people, Appa is in trouble. Like, I could easily see him doing those kind of mistakes. But it's a little bit of a bummer that now Toph is the only one that we really get a fuller view of what she did. I like all the metal people. The fact that her son Skrillex makes banana sculptures is funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I have literally no problem with Korra learning metal bending.
No, that was pretty cool.
I can't believe that's a thing on the internet.
I feel sad people are upset about her learning metal bending.
Aang never learned metal bending. He wouldn't have given a shit.
He probably wouldn't have. No.
That's the thing that I really like.
Korra
If you go back and watch the flashback in the season 1 of Legend of Korra to old Aang, if you didn't know he was the Avatar, you would have thought he was just an airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he dresses like an airbender. When he chased after Yakone, he was just using airbending. He did not use any other bending until he entered the Avatar state.
I feel like the only complaint they can have is that they're trying to balance the Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Avatar can't learn the advanced bending techniques. Why? Otherwise, why is she a generalist?
Well, now there's more nations. Like, she's learning. She has to now know metal bending because there's a metal bending people to append.
That's the thing, though. She's the Avatar. The whole point of the Avatar is just supposed to be this overwhelming mass of power that it can settle disputes like that. So, yeah, no, I don't think any secrets of any kind of bending should be locked off from the Avatar.
Yeah. And dudes, everybody does it. Like, there's no reason why. At this point, it's so well taught and so well known. Of course, you can learn it.
Yeah, like metal bending's literally they have an entire elite force in Republic City built entirely of being a metal benders.
Yeah, it's like I could just see her angry, like, why? Why would I bother? That's for police and Toph. Let's see
if she learns to bend, stone hands.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
Korra goes all Dai on you. Ha.
So something that people are worried about, and I'm worried about, is that Su Yin might be evil. I don't want that to be the case, but I don't know.
Remind me who Su Yin is.
Toph's other daughter, the metal lady.
Okay. I don't think that's the case.
I would be really disappointed with this show if they did that again.
I seriously doubt that at the most, she might have a shady background we didn't learn about. Maybe she has some connections that still have still got a tie to her that might pull that string.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt she's evil. Like, they did too good. They've done too good this season with people's characters. And from this few seasons, I think we learned pretty well about her character.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that's the case.
Although the truth bender might be kind of iffy.
I love that concept where it's like, why don't you have two? Don't just have one truth bender. What are you people doing? There's no checks and balance. Like, he could say whatever he wanted and no one could check that.
I
like his nose ringy, though.
Yeah, that was I like the metal bending acupuncture.
Yeah, that's
all needles
great.
At once.
All needles. That dude took a couple needles to the face and kept on ticking.
He didn't care.
He did not care.
He knows what to do with needles.
And I guess the things that, what are we missing? Opal and Bolin kind of bonded during this period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I like that. I like their pairing.
It'd be nice. I just want to see Bolin happy again, I guess.
I really just want to. I really root for Bolin in every way that he can get any kind of stuff.
Like, I was upset when Bolin Korra didn't turn out to be a thing. It's like, no, Bolin's obviously the better choice.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is where if you don't pay attention to the audience, is the whole rewatching the first season of Korra is really interesting because they really push that Mako and Korra are supposed to be together, but it's not a fun relationship to watch. Like they fuck it up. Like they introduce Asami and Mako, which is a much better relationship than Korra and Mako, and then Bolin gets with Korra. So like they present you with two superior versions of what could happen, and then expect you to be okay with when they're like, no, let's do the wrong thing.
Yeah, and that goes back to like in the very first episode, 10 minutes, they decide to get rid of all their stupid teen angst when when Asami and Korra are in the car.
Oh, how did I forget about that? That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode.
It really is my favorite scene in an episode. They're like, you know all that dumb stuff we did? Yeah. Well, let's not ever bring that up as a plot point again.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're friends now. Right. Bitchin'. And I guess the one thing we didn't talk about is Zahir and his gang showed up late to Republic City well after Korra left. And decided, for whatever reason, that they needed to hijack a van to leave.
Yeah, I guess that was weird. They were able to get into the city well enough.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta do this. We gotta get out of the only way we can. Hijacking a van.
Should have hijacked a better liar.
Yeah, that dude ran
like,
immediately.
making some deliveries. Okay, well, I'll just go through there. Yeah, I can't wait to do my pickup. Wait, you said deliveries.
I'm cracking.
I like the way he just ran out of the van.
That dude knew to get the hell out of there. One thing I did like is where they just had the one throwaway line where they're like, hey, while we're here, do you want to kidnap the president or something? And Zahir was like, meh.
Yeah. It's like, no, we have, like, I think he mentioned, like, no, we got a deeper goal for blah, blah, blah. The name I don't remember.
We got to do something. Oh, yeah, and the idea that they tried to kidnap Korra when she was a baby. Which, you know what? I'll take that retconning. I will take that.
Is that really a retcon, though?
Well, it explains why her father and Tenzin wanted her to be sequestered away. Because in the first season, it's like, it's for your own good. And she was like, that's a bad idea. And the writers went like, oh, crap, she's probably right.
What's the name?
You were trying to be kidnapped.
Okay, there's an effect that you and me have a name for. It comes from Naruto. What were the name of the elite ninja police? Do you remember? Anbu.
Shoot. Yeah, the Anbu.
Unfortunately, the Anbu effect seems to have gone into place for the White Lotus.
They suck so bad now.
They haven't been able to do anything.
It's like well, they invited youngsters into the orders, the real problem. If it's a bunch of Pai Cho playing old dudes, then everything's fine.
I guess that was where they aired.
These crappy youngsters.
Although I do like seeing that the White Lotus expanded so much. It's like,
yeah,
they were like, back in the original series, they were like literally a secret society of like 5 people. Like the elite 5 people throughout different nations is like, we should all be unified and fight this war. And then after the war, they became a real society that did a whole bunch of important things, apparently.
Yeah, and they were tied to the Republic City, which makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that they would evolve that way. It is kind of a bummer where it's like, we're so elite that we suck.
Yeah, like, well, I guess we are what now has to get beat up to prove other people's strength.
Oh, well, I still suck at giving you ideas of what... Nope. Bald Zahir didn't happen yet.
Bald Zahir did happen.
Or it did. Yeah. It totally did if they left Republic City. Crap, I suck. So there's this really awesome scene where Zahir infiltrates the Airbenders and fights Kaya.
Yeah.
That was bitch. And he steals an Airbender flight thingy.
It's like an amulet, and it just has a thing on it. Oh, you mean the stick?
He steals a stick. He steals a flight. Forget the poem.
He stole a poem.
Hey, this is totally my favorite poet.
That's where we learned. Yeah.
What kind of like moody asshole teenager was he? That Kaya would immediately recognize him.
That was the best part. Like, he'd been there for a while, and Kaya's like, "Wait a minute, Zahir."
He was like, hey, I want to talk to you about... Hey, perhaps you heard about Guru Lahima? Guru Lahima, fuck it, you're Zahir. He's the only one that talks about Guru Lahima.
I guess we know what his plan was. His plan was that he thought he'd be able to go straight to Korra through the air temple, but still.
Yeah, he didn't know they split up.
Still, that just seems so weird to have him kind of randomly show up at an air temple and then run off.
All right, so an example of me, maybe, I can't tell, so you can tell me this. Am I respecting the show too much or too little that I didn't want to think that the shave head guy was Zahir?
I had the same moment of doubt when he showed up. It was like,
I was like, well, that can't
well,
be Zahir.
no,
They wouldn't
like,
do that.
narratively, especially with a shot like that and the music they just played, we're supposed to know who that is.
Yeah. I was like, that can't. I guess that's Zahir.
I guess so. It's like, I liked him with the hair.
Yeah. I am really bummed because I really liked Hair Zahir.
Although bald Zahir grew on me after a while.
I don't even remember what he looks like with hair,
Yeah.
to be honest. As much as I'm like, I really love Hair Zahir. Bald
Whatever
Zahir
that was.
forever. This thing in the long, long past, the many ago. So, those are the episodes of Korra. I love this season. I am such a huge fan. I wish more people would watch it, but apparently they are.
Yeah, I still enjoyed season 1 and 2. I didn't think they were absolutely terrible, but they had so many problems with them. We've talked about it a lot, but season 3 has just been. Season 3 is great.
It's nice. It's a good show. Holy crap! All right, we never talked about him when we did our season 1 and 2 discussion, and we should have talked about him now. Varric.
Oh, Varric came back.
Magnets.
How does he still have Julie?
Julie, get the magnet.
Part. Like, Julie, now for the important part. Julie, clean up this mess. Just walk.
Yeah. I'm out. There's some good Varric stuff ahead of you.
Wait, aren't you a criminal? It's like, guy never was convicted just because you broke out of prison.
Yeah, before the trial.
I love, like, even though he was kind of technically a villain, he's still a great character. He's just always enjoyable to have around.
Well, the best part about him is that, like, he's not evil. He's just greedy.
Which certainly isn't evil, Pat.
Well, it's the weird way to put it. Like, he is a war profiteer, but, like, the war part of that doesn't even really click with him mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't think of war as, like, here's this thing where, you know, millions of people will die, or the Avatar world doesn't really seem that densely populated, where thousands of people will die, but I will make money. Like, and he just sees the same thing in this, where it's like, I'm in this city, I'm inventing magnets. I'm afraid he's building a railgun. I think that's going to be the big surprise.
You expect like a Shinra cannon to show up at the end of this?
Yeah, he's like, I built a railgun. Hey, Julie, do the thing. But yeah, it's cool. And just like you were telling me that there's a lot of really neat kill-to-kill stuff waiting for me. Dude, the episodes that you were waiting to watch of Korra are pretty good.
Well, and again, because as we were talking about the pacing of Kill la Kill, the first 6 episodes of Korra have just been very well paced. Every single episode has been something important, something cool. There's been no filling of, like, filler. Yeah.
Actually, pump the brakes. The next episode you're going to watch is a filler. But after that, it's great.
Okay.
There is a filler episode that is just Tenzin and the Air Nomads.
Oh, well, that was I guess that was another reason why season 2 kind of failed, is that when they did subplots, they seemed pointless.
Oh God, Detective
and they had
Mako
so
is on
many
the case.
of them, and they weren't interesting to watch on their own right, and they didn't contribute anything in addition to that. Like, do you remember when the little kid was learning to train his animal?
Yeah,
I forget his name. Boomy? No.
Milo.
Milo, there we go. And it's like, well, I guess that was kind of interesting, but that did absolutely nothing.
All it did was create the running joke that Milo is probably going to become a warlord when he grows older.
Yeah. But there were so many the small stories that lasted for half of an episode. Like, a full half of an episode did nothing.
I feel like, not to be completely mean, but the writers of the show can't do politics and they can't handle intrigue. And whenever I think they think that they're nailing politics and intrigue, they suck at it. Like, the Metal Clan episodes are great because they are just character moments dealing with two sisters that hate each other and needing to work that out. And it's compelling and it's interesting. There's no, like... Well, it's like Star Wars Episode 1, where it's like, apparently during all of that, there are politics and a trade dispute or something. Like, there's all this stuff that no one gives a shit about on top of the things you should care about.
That was the best part about watching the Clone Wars animated show. The CG one.
Yeah.
Is that there was a moment, like, towards this later half of one of the, like, halfway through the whole thing, like in season 3, I want to say, where the Trade Federation starts getting involved. And I had this moment of hesitation. It was like, wait, aren't they the separatists? because that's how stupid the whole involvement was in the movies. Like, you were pretty sure that they were the Separatists if you watched the movie, because that's how poorly handled it was. But apparently, no, they were just involved in that one incident.
Wait, was it just Newt Gunray? Was Newt Gunray the only person of
I don't even think Newt Gunray took the blame at the end of that.
His ass was still around until movie 3 when he gets stabbed.
Yeah. Like I said,
how did Newt Gunray... Well, I guess he has robots.
George Lucas's version of intrigue, Pat. The Trade Federation were not separatists, and they had nothing to do with the separatist movement because it wasn't obviously transparent to everyone who wasn't on Naboo.
Kind of like how Mako gets framed in the 2nd season of Legend of Korra.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. That is so stupid. And then Lynn doesn't listen.
I guess there's evidence here. Better send him away.
Yeah. It's like, why wouldn't she listen to one of her on-the-street beat cops when he had... God!
She has openly criticized the 2 mustachioed cops for being lazy.
Obviously. She pointed out that they're terrible cops and she doesn't trust them. But she doesn't care.
Yeah. Oh, Legend of Korra, you so funny. But yeah, so that's our overview of Kill la Kill, Legend of Korra, 2 really good things that everyone should be watching.
Definitely, they're good now.
And like I said, Kill la Kill, you can easily find on Netflix, and Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure, has it as well. Crunchyroll is absolutely free. You can download the app on your smartphone. So if you don't want to get a Netflix subscription, you can still see Kill la Kill.
Also Hulu.
Also Hulu.
You
and
said Hulu.
On Hulu, well, Hulu only does recent episodes.
Okay.
So I would never pick Hulu over Netflix. And Legend of Korra, thankfully, is now on Nick.com.
All of it, too. They're not just doing the most recent one.
So feel free to watch it. The only downside of that is you're just going to see a whole bunch of Ninja Turtles commercials.
Huh.
I guess one final note. How excited are you for that Platinum game?
Which Platinum game?
The Legend of Korra game being made by Platinum.
Oh,
the
crap.
makers of Metal Gear Rising.
Distant Hopefulness.
Have you seen any gameplay stuff for
No.
it? Oh, well, we'll have to talk about that in the future. I'm going to send you a link after this podcast is over.
Okay.
So I guess since we're going to wrap things up, do you have any idea of what you want to do for the YouTube channel? We have Mega Man X1 and 2 up. People should enjoy that.
Transformers?
But Transformers will be making a return.
Okay.
I guess if anyone cares, we got sidetracked by the fact that Xboxes were broken for the week that we were going to record Transformers.
Yeah, that was terrible. And before that, we had sidetracked by just how much of a demonic machine the SNES was.
Oh my god. The SNES is the devil. Do you have any solo LP planned for the future?
I'm not sure what I want to commit to right now.
All right. To be non-committal, I'm thinking about doing Prince of Persia. I may not. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm Pat. You're Matt. Thank you for listening.
I am Matt.
Yeah, and we will take questions and comments if we get any. We will address those, I guess, at the beginning of the next episode.
I am Matt.
We should do an episode about Marvel Cosmic stuff. You up for that?
I am totally up for that, actually.
Awesome. That'll be the next episode of our show. We'll see everyone later. Bye!